He said, she said, they're in a mess. Let's get to stories that truly impress. My husband threw away all of my food because I'm a cow. Posted by ThrowRA3469. We've been married for 6 years and together for 9 years. 2 college kids who fell in love and decided to build a life together. I recently gave birth to a beautiful baby girl, 14 weeks old, who's my entire world. I've suffered through 3 miscarriages and experienced several complications during pregnancy. I was on bed rest for 3 months and had to go through over 20 hours of labor before the doctors performed an emergency C-section. But our daughter was born healthy and happy, and all that pain was worth it. I had gained about 30 pounds during my pregnancy. I was 5'7", 121 pounds prior. After giving birth, I gained another 10 pounds since I have been breastfeeding, and my body has been craving calorie-dense foods, not junk food, just 70% minimum cacao chocolate, stuff like plantain chips, meats, dairy, nuts, etc. The doctor told me that I should listen to my body's needs and feed myself whatever I feel like I need. My husband has been helpful. He was happy when he learned the gender. He took care of me and accommodated all my needs during my bed rest. Postpartum, however, he started to make up excuses to not help with the baby. He hasn't been as affectionate with our daughter as I had hoped he would be. He made a few negative comments about my weight here and there, like, "You're a bit chubby. Today's a good day to work out and shed some pounds." I was an extremely active woman who worked out 4 to 5 times a week and indulged in dangerous and adventurous activities. But now I'm completely exhausted, I can barely get out of bed, I've collapsed 5 times, and I'm stressed out, and at the same time I have to take care of our baby and the household. The other day, my husband had already gone to work, and I went to the kitchen and found all my food gone. Every single bag, box, package, everything. I called him crying to inquire where all my food is, and he told me that he threw everything out because I needed to start losing weight. I hung up on him and called my best friend so she could bring me some food that I needed from the store. Afterwards, my husband came home, and when he saw the food that she had brought, he threw everything outside and smashed everything with his foot. I was furious with him, and I was screaming and yelling at him for being a selfish piece of ish, and he called me an effing cow while throwing some of the crushed packages at me and ended with punching a hole in the door. I called my brother, who picked me and my baby up, and I'm now staying at his place. His mother, sister, and even my own mother are all defending him and that I have to lose weight and apologize to him for my postpartum breakdown. I guess I'm just not sure if this is good grounds to file for divorce, or should I listen to my mother? Is this how all men are wired? Wow, okay, first things first, let's start a GoFundMe to buy this guy a clue, because clearly he lost his on the way to father and supportive husband land. I mean, calling your wife who just gave birth chubby? Bro, she didn't gain weight. She gained a whole other human being. Your part in that was fun. Hers was a Herculean labor of love, literally. Secondly, trashing your partner's food after she's just been through the trauma of pregnancy, childbirth, and multiple miscarriages, that's a whole new level of Food Network's Chopped that no one asked for. And let's not even get into the family standing up for him. Really, Mom? I mean, what's next? Sorry, honey, your hubby's right. Postpartum depression is just a myth like Bigfoot or equal pay. Look, here's some friend-to-friend advice. Your husband should be your partner through thick and thin, postpartum weight gain or not. And smashing food isn't just wasteful, it's emotionally destructive. You've been through hell to bring a life into this world. Don't let anyone, including your spouse, minimize that. The whole men are wired like this argument? Nah, toss that excuse in the bin along with the smashed food if this is grounds for divorce. Well, I ain't a lawyer, but if I were you, I'd consider it. Let's hope these top comments are supportive because this is just unacceptable. All right, guys, I found an update for this post, so let's see how this ended up, my guess without reading it. This is the type of guy that will likely not learn from this, but we shall see. Thank you guys for the comments on my previous post. However, even though I really wanted to follow everyone's advice about weight, eating, and divorcing, my mother still got in my head, and because I've always obeyed her, I listened and went back to my husband. He did say that he was sorry for calling me a freaking cow, but he said he was only being honest and said, and I quote, Isn't honesty the most important foundation of a happy and healthy relationship? And I thought he was right. So I started cutting back on my food and eating low-calorie foods, but problems almost immediately arose. My energy levels dropped and my milk supply diminished quickly. I must have collapsed at least 4 times during that period. 3 days ago, at night, the baby was crying nonstop and my husband got angry and yelled at me to make her stop. I told him that I wasn't producing enough milk due to lack of food, and he literally said, "Cows eat grass and produce gallons of milk. What are you, a meat cow?" That's when I decided to take my daughter while I was shushing her and letting her breastfeed whatever drops of milk I had left there. Once my husband fell asleep, I left the house and came to my best friend who welcomed me in and told me I can stay here as long as I need to. I didn't go to my brother because I didn't trust him anymore, since he also told me that I should work things out with my husband. I already filed for divorce and cut off contact with his family and my own mother. My best friend and her fiancé have been helping me a lot by taking care of my baby while I was resting. My best friend would bring whatever I needed from the store. My milk supply has returned to normal, and I haven't collapsed once. I've probably had more rest for these 3 days than I've had in a month. I am going to attempt to get full custody and supervised visits from the father, but my best friend's fiancé said that it might be difficult to do without evidence. And I do have at least some evidence because we of course have cameras outside our house and they recorded everything. It may not be enough, but fingers crossed. But the Reddit advice has helped me a lot, and I appreciate all the help. You need to get out now, and this is definitely a ground for divorce. Unfortunately, women are more at risk of being victim of domestic violence during pregnancy and postpartum. How old is your baby? Get out of this abusive relationship. This guy is an absolute madman, and you need to find a way out of this. It doesn't even matter at this point whether or not you need to lose the weight. He is not caring. He is not loving. He is selfish. He doesn't care about the child. He doesn't care about you. He is abusing you. Please don't raise a child in this situation because if this continues, he could treat your baby this way. Look at it this way. Imagine this post was written by someone you didn't know. Reread everything you wrote and see it from the outside. No, not all men are wired this way. In fact, the majority aren't. This man is a complete arse. I am done and I am heartbroken. I have no one. Posted by ThrowRA Forgotten. I have been married for 15 years. I have known my wife since I was 8. We have 3 daughters together, 17, 14, and 11. I'm tired of feeling like I'm an outsider in my relationships with all of them. I'm just an ATM and taxi service to my kids. My wife hasn't kissed me in 6 months. She has not said that she loves me in 1.5 years. No matter how much I communicate, try to plan anything or do anything, it is always shot down, forgotten, or dismissed. I don't get angry and don't yell. I don't get physical. I like to splurge during birthdays and Mother's Day. I throw parties and give gifts and try to show how much I love them. I get a lukewarm thanks and, if I'm lucky, a side hug that lasts milliseconds. This week was the breaking point. Father's Day. I wake up to an empty house. Odd. No note. Nothing was written on the calendar and nothing said beforehand. I send a text and I get back. I took the girls out for a spa day. Don't wait up. Then nothing. Literally nothing. Dinner time comes around and they get home. I asked how their day was. It was fine. I asked what they would like for dinner. Nothing. We already ate at one of my favorite restaurants. Cool, whatever. There is no mention of it being Father's Day. There was no, I love you. How are you? Nothing. Fast forward to Wednesday, which was my birthday. Nothing. Literally again, nothing. I suggested plans. They got shot down. I suggested food. Nope, shot down. I asked about watching a movie. They are all too busy. They just sat on their phones doing nothing. Now to Thursday night. I'm in bed. My wife is next to me. She rolls over and says in a crappy tone, "Oh, your birthday was the other day. I guess you expect to have intercourse." That broke something in me. Based on the best of my memory, this is how it went down. I said, "No, I don't expect intercourse. At this point, I don't expect anything anymore." Her, "What is that supposed to mean?" So I started asking her questions. When was the last time we shared a kiss? Like a week? Nope. It was in December, and it was during her parents' holiday party. When was the last time we had intercourse? The beginning of the year? Nope. Wrong. It has been over a year. She was adamant that we did it in February. I was dealing with my mom's health and her passing, so I said something like, "You may have had intercourse, but it wasn't with me. When was the last time you said you love me?" "I say it all the time." "Not to me, check your messages. You don't say it to me face to face." "Well, you should just know I do." "When was the last time we went on a date?" Long pause. "Her, you're being unfair." Emotions were fully turned on. I was crying and raising my voice at this point. I asked her how. She can't answer. I asked her how wanting any sign of love from anyone in the house is unfair, if expecting anything for my birthday or Father's Day was unfair. She got a no crap look. "Yeah, you forgot that as well. I'm not an ATM, I'm not a taxi service, I'm not a punching bag." She asked why this was coming up out of the blue. It didn't. I have tried to talk to my family and again get dismissed or ignored. I brought up examples. I got in, "I didn't know you were serious. I didn't know it was such a big deal." I left, saying something to the point of, "If you want to pretend that I'm invisible and don't exist, fine. You don't have to pretend anymore." I left the house at almost midnight on Thursday into Friday morning. I haven't been home since. I'm not sure what to do now, and I'm finally sober enough to think. But I don't know what to do. This is the first time I drank in 15 years, by the way, and I'm not going to drink anymore. I love my family, but I can't keep this up. I don't know what more I can do. I think they would be happier without me. They already act like I don't exist. I can't be the one who is blamed for everything. If I truly am the problem, then me not being there should fix it. I can't do it anymore. I have tried to be a good provider, a good partner, and a good dad. I never missed an event for our kids, and I never prioritized work. I kept good hours so I could see them more, and I took on more responsibility to better our life in the future. But it is never appreciated. It is never enough. I am never enough. I only have one message from my wife. I'm sorry for making you feel that way. We all love you, and we are here for you when you want to come home and talk. That is it. No other messages, no calls. Nothing from the kids. I feel like if they really wanted me there, they would try reaching out more. All of the kids have their own phone. I don't know what she told them. I'm sure they heard me raise my voice, and me raising my voice would have definitely got their attention since I never do. I'm sure they heard me leave. I just don't know. Edit. Thanks, everyone. I did not think anyone would care. You have given me some hope and advice, which I'm going to look into. I don't know how to respond to a lot of the comments. I know how, just not in words. I'm going to try to figure things out more. I'm now 100% sober, so my mind is clearer. I'm going to start meeting with people on Monday and try to come up with options. Man, your story is actually really heartbreaking. Being a parent, a partner, a provider, it's a lot, and you're doing it. You're in the ring every day fighting. It's not a sitcom where the audience claps or laughs at the right moments. Real life doesn't give you those cues, but that doesn't mean your effort and love aren't worthy of a standing ovation. It's wild that you're considered just an ATM or a taxi service. I mean, come on, if ATMs and taxis had hearts, they'd probably be sobbing metallic tears right now, because your story is the epitome of feeling unloved and unappreciated. The whole "I didn't know you were serious" line is a stinger, as if the basic need for love and connection is some elaborate prank you're pulling. And those questions you asked your wife, dude, those are gut punches, and they deserved some real answers. Look, I can't say what's going on in your wife's head or your kids' minds, but clearly there's a connection missing. You're not asking for the moon and stars here. Just some acknowledgement, some affection, some sign that you exist as more than a utility. You need to have a serious conversation with your family. Your love tank is running on fumes, and they need to know that. And they've got to either help you fill it or, well, let's just say running on empty is never a good thing, for cars or for human beings. Hey, wait! As always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and let me know what you're thinking in the comments below. And of course, make sure you stay safe out there in that crazy world. Much love, peace.